105th all-time meeting between the Michigan State Spartans and the Michigan Wolverines. BTN football is presented by John Deere. The Spartans have owned the bragging rights in the state of Michigan for 1,802 days with 4 straight wins in this series. Hi everyone, Matt Devlin alongside the coach Glenn Mason. Certainly glad to have you along, and this is one of those great Big Ten football rivalries.
Not only is great, man, it is fun. You know, you talk about college football rivalries, we could name them all. Something special about in-state rivalries. In this state, Michigan State versus Michigan, you're either green or you're blue. Watch out.
All right, and if you want to win this football game, you better run the football. And it is time for the Principal Financial Group Edge to the Game.
You got that right. History has it, 39 out of the last 42 meetings of these two teams. Whoever wins the rushing contest wins this game. Same thing today. My type of game, partner.
The Wolverines and the Spartans getting set. Rain was expected, however, it has been clear throughout much of the day. We had some sun earlier, however, the clouds have now formed over Michigan Stadium. It is 54 degrees. Michigan wins the toss, and they will defer. Mark D'Antonio is 4-1 all-time against the Wolverines, and Brady Hoke 0-1 in his second season at the helm of the Wolverines.
To say that the Wolverines are hungry for this game is an understatement. I thought all too often, you know, when you win like Michigan State has won in this series, you start to take it for granted. Players, coaches, fans. On the other side of that, man, you can't wait to play this game.
And it all started with the comments from Mike Hart and Mark D'Antonio telling us by the time you are 6 in this state, you're either green or you're blue. And he said some are green and blue prior. And we are underway. Le'Veon Bell to the outside, and Bell up to the 44-yard line, and a huge return, 31-yard return for the Spartans. Andrew Maxwell, and talking to the coaches, they believe that he needs to be more decisive and more accurate.
Yeah, that's right. You know, the thing I think, watching film, he needs a lot of help from that supporting cast, especially the offensive line.
They've had a lot of injuries up front. A pitch to the outside. Bell trying to turn the corner. He gets stacked up and pushed back.
You know, when I watched in film, Le'Veon Bell obviously is a great back, but when he runs those plays where his shoulders can stay square from the get-go, he's pretty effective. On those plays where they go wide, where he turns his shoulders to go there, he has trouble making that cut inside. He's a better north and south runner.
Kenny Demmons with the tackle. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9. Maxwell under center. Highly criticized. Maxwell, first-year starter, sends it to the true freshman Aaron Burbridge on the near side from Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Michigan State has had a lot of problems with their wide receivers this year. Obviously, they lost great receivers from last year, catching the football, and then all of a sudden, this young guy, Aaron Burbridge, just came on the scene. Last 2 weeks, he's had 13 receptions.
3rd down from the 50. Maxwell out of the shotgun. Movement up front. And penalty flags are down.
False start. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 3rd.
Dave Whitvo, our lead official, and getting his first start is Donovan Clark, the redshirt freshman. That left tackle, you see the movement there starting for the junior, Dan France, who had made 20 consecutive starts at left tackle. He suffered a concussion this past week into practice. It is 3rd and 9. Four wide receivers set. With time, comes up short. Burbridge, his second reception, he is out of bounds at the 50. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that's a 4th down, but so far Maxwell's passes have been on the money, short to Burbridge, but he catches it in his hands, and that's what they need, a little confidence. And obviously they're not going to lose field position here. They got it to midfield. They're going to punt it away. If they get good coverage, they're going to give Michigan the long field.
Mike Sadler. Jeremy Gallen is back, the junior from Apopka, Florida. Low line drive, and it is curled out of bounds, and it's marked at the 19, a 31-yard boot for Mike Sadler. Second best punter on average in the Big Ten, and here is Denard Robinson. So dangerous, but Michigan State has been able to contain him, Coach.
Well, they sure did a great job in the past, especially last year. He wasn't very effective running the ball. He wasn't very effectively throwing the ball, but that's the guy today right there. And
since Notre Dame and that loss and all the turnovers, Wolverines have it going. Here's Robinson trying to get outside to the edge and can't. And Max Bullock comes up, the middle linebacker, makes a big hit and flags down all over the scene of where the tackle happened.
After the play, personal foul. Late hit number 77 offense. Half the distance, first down.
Taylor Lewan, the left tackle. You remember last year, William Golston actually slapped Lewan. And the late hit right there. And so that's going to push him back now inside their 10.
The way Golston got up clapping, I didn't figure it was on him.
He was suspended for a game after that. Michigan only won 3 and out the last 35 possessions. And trying to turn it up is Robinson, and Danikas Allen and Max Bulla are there. Elliot Mueller in the middle spearheads everything with that front 5. They've only allowed 5 sacks. That's first in the Big Ten. And Jeremy Gallen, if there is a deep threat, it is Gallen. Gallen had a 71-yard touchdown against the Illini last week as Michigan won it 45-0. 3rd and long. To the outside. Fitzgerald Toussaint gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and as I mentioned, only won 3 and out the last 35 possessions, but William Golston and Michigan State doing an outstanding job there. Let's take a look at today's Auto Owners Insurance starting defense, and of course the man in the middle is Max Bulla, one of the best linebackers in the country. And in the secondary, Curtis Drummond took over responsibility at the safety spot midway through the Indiana game. Will Hogrup, number 1 in the Big Ten in punting, sent it deep inside the 35, and Andre Simmons Jr., the redshirt freshman, is there. 47-yard punt. He averages 48.7. Underway here at the Big House. Michigan State in Michigan on BTN. BTN football is presented by John Deere, the all-new, all-powerful Gator RSX 850i. Also in part by Peak. Put Peak motor oil in. Save on gas. From Ann Arbor, Michigan, there is a Michigan theater and a state theater. Back inside the Big House. And that defense of Michigan State once again containing Denard Robinson. Jake Ryan, an outstanding sophomore linebacker from Westlake, Ohio. Maxwell out of the backfield. Le'Veon Bell. And Jake Ryan is right there on the tackle. We mentioned Donovan Clark getting his first start. At left tackle, a redshirt freshman for Dan France. They've had a lot of injuries up front. And Le'Veon Bell, one of the best running backs in the Big Ten, had 210 yards against Boise State, 253 yards against Eastern Michigan. Here's Bell. Bell gets stopped once again by Jake Ryan.
You see that run in the backfield where he starts with the square shoulders? That's the one where he's tough to stop without moving the pile.
Let's take a look at today's Auto Owners Insurance starting defense. Craig Rowe making his 45th consecutive start, longest streak on the team. And there is Jake Ryan, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, tied his career high with 11 tackles last week. And Jordan Kovacs, the heart and soul of this defense in the secondary, according to defensive coordinator Greg Madison. Maxwell, all sorts of time. Maxwell overthrows his intended target. Larry Caper.
You know, you mentioned Jordan Kovacs. He's the best blitzer on this team. I asked Jordan, why is that? He said, soon after Madison got here, I figured out when he called a blitz, you better go full speed and not worry what happens.
Greg Madison said, if there is a Michigan guy on this team, it is Jordan Kovacs. And the captain, Jeremy Gallen, is back. Sadler. And Gallen makes the fair catch at the 44-yard punt here on this Saturday from the Big House in Michigan. Scoreless here in the first quarter, underway from Michigan Stadium. And of course, throughout the course of this game, you're always tweeting. First of all, you are the mayor of the Big Ten. Wherever we go, everybody's taking pictures. You're like trending right now.
You know, it's amazing. Whatever I say in the Big Ten Network, some people like it, some people don't like it, but I hear about it.
There's no question about that. The Twitterverse is always buzzing about Big Ten football, and BTN Connect is a place to join the conversation. See what fans and the media are saying. Vote in our Twitter polls, track the stats, and find out who's trending in the Big Ten today. It's all at btn.com/connect. Robinson on a keeper. No room. Met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down.
Curtis Drummond leading the tackler.
Curtis Drummond on the tackle. All right, the Twitter poll, Coach. Who will rush for more yards today? Hashtag Mish Robinson or hashtag MSU Bell. And whoever wins that one, more than likely this game could decide on that.
When do I get to vote?
You can vote right now.
I'm going with Bell.
Over the last 4 years, the Spartans have outgained Michigan 826 yards to 356 yards on the ground, and a timeout taken by the Wolverines. All right, today's sideline reports are brought to you by Best Buy. Let's go to the third member of our broadcast team, Jay Lehman. Jay?
Thanks, guys. With the proliferation of the spread offense and the rise of up-tempo teams trying to get as many offensive snaps as possible, this game is a throwback. Michigan State and Michigan love to run the football and control time of possession. Big Ten football at its best today. The team that can run the ball, stop the run, and have the least amount of turnovers will most likely win. Coach Mason, you would have loved this game.
You got that right. I like the line up there, and It's Big Ten football. It's October, and let's line up and see who can block and who can tackle.
Although Michigan does run the ball a little bit different than Michigan State and a lot of other schools around the country.
Well, they do, but one thing I noticed, their offensive line plays like an I backfield line. They come off the ball.
Gallen on the near side. Gallen up to the 40 and brought down. Max Bulla has to track him down from behind in a 22-yard pickup. One of the things that Michigan felt they couldn't do last year because of the swirling winds was throw the football, and with everyone stacked up inside, Robinson connects with Gallen.
Yeah, and you see Jeremy Gallen catch the ball there, and one thing about it, he averages 15 yards per catch after the reception.
First down from the 41. Gallen in motion. Gallen, handoff. And he is able to pick up 3. And Curtis Drummond comes in and makes the stop.
Well, the way you see them try to feature Jeremy Gallen, not only as a receiver, but coming on in motion, that was like Urban Meyer's Percy Harvin type of guy at Florida. You need that type of guy in this offense.
Second down and 7 for the Wolverines. Michigan 4-2 on the season, 3-0 at home, 2-0 in the conference. Legends division matchup. Here's Robinson looking for room. Robinson pushed back and maybe a pickup of a yard.
You know, when you watch this Michigan offense, there's really 3 parts of it. There's what Al Borges, the offensive coordinator, calls 2 backs, when you have 2 running backs in there featuring. There's the quarterback +1. In other words, when the quarterback's carrying the ball, but he has a lead blocker, or just the spread, which was that right there where no one else is there and Robinson's on his own.
4 carries for Robinson, just 3 yards. It's third down. 3rd and 5 for Michigan. Roy Roundtree in motion. Robinson fires it to the far side, and Mike Kwiatkowski, the tight end, with a catch. 5th-year senior, and a first down for the Wolverines, and they're getting it done in the air. 22-yard pickup with Jeremy Gallen, now a 9-yard.
Well, just watch this pass right on the money. He catches it, he gets upfield. In this offense, they asked Denard Robinson to be Superman. You think about what he has to do in the run game and the pass game, and all the decisions he makes, he's got to be Superman.
And Superman has never beaten Michigan State. First down. Robinson can't turn it back upfield. Denikas Allen comes in, second on the Spartans in tackles.
One point that Al Borges made about the Michigan State defense, difference in everybody else they play, he says that Michigan State will still blitz you. Most people will not blitz Robinson. That's what they did. They blitzed him right there. Michigan State will not let anybody dictate what they're going to do in their defense.
Pat Narduzzi said the concerns, Robinson, Robinson, and Robinson. And then control Gallen if they can. And Toussaint is taken down by Curtis Drummond. And safety coming up into making a big play.
Well, I'll tell you, if Curtis Drummond doesn't make that play, Toussaint might go the distance. But you know what? As long as you get a guy on the ground, that's a tackle.
Drummond, the sophomore from Ohio, as I mentioned, really started to emerge for Mark D'Antonio. And then midway through the Indiana game, Narduzzi said, all right, that's our guy at that position. Third down and long. Robinson throws underneath, and it's caught by Devin Gardner. And Michigan State, once again.
Now the concept behind that part, Pat Narduzzi, he calls a blitz. Robinson gets rid of it, but he has to drop it underneath. They make the tackle. They don't care they gave up a completion. They forced him into a punting situation. Good defensive concept.
Yeah, once again, stopping him, forcing a punt. Matt Weil, a sophomore from San Diego, California. Andre Simmons Jr. is back. And this one is headed for the end zone. Scoreless with 4:08 remaining here in this opening quarter. The 105th meeting between the Spartans and the Wolverines. Time for the Rotel campus rivalries. Let's go back to 2007.
It's good. You know, sometimes you get your little brother excited when you're playing basketball and stuff. You let him get the lead, and then you just come back and take it back.
So they want to mock us all they want to mock us. I'm telling them it's not over. So they can print all that crap all they want all over their locker room. It's not over. It'll never be over here. It's just starting.
And it did start for Mark D'Antonio. The start of 4 consecutive wins in this series. Last time the Spartans accomplished that, 1959 to 1962. And Le'Veon Bell straight up the middle and a pickup of 6 yards. Michigan leads the all-time series with 67 victories. No one on MSU roster has lost to Michigan, and no one on the Michigan roster has come away with a victory against the Spartans. It's second down, 2nd and 4, and penalty markers.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the field in the huddle. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 2nd.
That's tough after you have a good run by Bell in there. And we talked about when he runs with his shoulder square. You know, coming in today's game, he had 479 yards gained after contact. That guy is a tough customer to bring down.
And doing it behind an offensive line that has had a ton of injuries. Bo Finodi out, Travis Jackson, Dan France now out. Blake Treadwell is back after injuring his knee this summer. 2nd and 10. And quickly out to Tony Lippett. Let's go to Chicago and Dave Revson for a VTN.com studio update. Rever?
Oh, Matt, Ohio State still unbeaten, just barely. They send it into overtime in the final 10 seconds, and then Carlos Hyde, the TD run in the OT. They held Purdue on its possession. Buckeyes win it 29-22.
So the Buckeyes come back against the Boilermakers.
Well, let me tell you, if Purdue would have held on to beat the Buckeyes, they announced that score in the Big House, you wouldn't have believed the roar you would have heard.
Ohio State atop the leaders division. First down for the Spartans, and Maxwell goes to Tony Lippett again.
You know, Maxwell, when he gets his feet set on those timing routes and he gets good protection, that ball comes out like a bullet. I'm really impressed so far. Just watch it here. He gets set, boom, right on the money. Receiver didn't have to catch, but that's good possession. Move the chains. Another 1st and 10 after penalty.
You know, Michigan State coming off of a double overtime loss against Iowa in 1916. Maxwell was just 12 of 31. Bell searching for room. William Campbell, Jake Ryan right there.
You talk about Andrew Maxwell's performance last week against Iowa, though. I can tell you that offensive line of Michigan State had a rough day against that Hawkeye defense. You talk about Dan France, who's not playing today, and Donovan Clark coming in. I can tell you Dan France had a long day against the defensive end from Iowa.
And Deion Sims didn't play last week. Injured his ankle against Indiana in the first quarter. And he was the top receiver for Michigan State, the tight end. Kind of a safety net for Maxwell. Handoff, Bell trying to get outside, and it's going to bring up 3rd down as J.T. Floyd comes in and makes the tackle.
Interesting concept here on Michigan's defense. You know, their defensive ends, Greg Madison was telling us, have earned the right to rotate on their own. He considers them all starters, so he doesn't send them in or out. They just go in and out on their own. Really interesting.
Maxwell goes up top to Burbridge. And the pass is incomplete. In the direction of J.T. Floyd, and fifth-year senior Aaron Burbridge working.
Well, here you go, Burbridge against the corner. They've brought the blitz. It's one-on-one coverage. It looked like he could have pulled the string on that, but it's a incomplete pass. Yeah, he dropped the ball.
And a great play by Floyd. Jeremy Gallant standing at the 20. And a high winding kick, sending Gallant back to the 15. 43 yards off of the left foot of Mike Sadler. And back at Michigan Stadium, as you look at the Legends division, Iowa and Michigan are both 2-0. And the Iowa Hawkeyes at home tonight against Penn State. Brady Hoke talks about winning a Big Ten championship. He said that is our goal. And in talking with Denard Robinson yesterday, he said, you know what, it's something that we acknowledge on a daily basis.
Yeah, you're right. Every day they look at it, they emphasize it, they reevaluate it, and they go forward. And it is what it is, right?
Anthony Carter, great wide receiver from 1979 to 1982. The goal of winning a Big Ten title. The last time that they won a title in the Big Ten was 2004. In the end of the first quarter, it is scoreless. The Wolverines and the Spartans, both defenses have been stout. Great day here from the Big House. The Spartans and the Wolverines. Second quarter coming up.
Game show immediately after the game, only on BTN.
The sun working its way through the clouds here in Ann Arbor as we begin the second quarter.
It's fun even between quarters here in the Big House,
is.
I want to tell you.
The little journey.
Other than your singing.
Hey, don't stop believing, Coach. Robinson gets wrapped up and brought down by Allen. Danikas Allen on the stop. Max Bulla has led the way for Michigan State with 4 tackles in that opening quarter.
So much of Robinson's running in this spread is between the tackles. Now that's tough sledding for a big runner back like Le'Veon Bell at 244 pounds. But this guy, when he doesn't get the wide open seam, he's got to be very durable, very tough, besides being very fast.
Al Borges telling us he knows now when to run like a quarterback, meaning get out of bounds, and then also run like a running back. It is 3rd and 6. Robinson across the middle, and the pass is caught. Drew DeLeo.
Well, the success of this play, partner, is that, again, Michigan State came with pressure, but he was able to stand high in the pocket. And Al Borges told us this guy, Denard Robinson, is a much better passer than anybody gives him credit for.
DeLeo with the catch. Robinson 5 of 5 for 59 yards. Roundtree in motion. Robinson with time across the middle, nearly picked off by Max Bulla as he was able to get a hand on it, and flags are down. Here was something that came up last week in talking to
Second down.
Narduzzi. Illegal shift.
Well, you know, that's been the downfall of Robinson in Michigan before was interceptions. But last week, they had problems intercepting the ball. They could have had 4 of them.
And you go back to last week, losing in double overtime and that drive down the end, and you talk to Pat Narduzzi, he said, no, we had an opportunity for 4 picks last week, and we didn't get it done throughout the course of the day. And they lost by a field goal. To the near side, Vincent Smith. All right, let's go to Chicago and Dave Refson for a BTN.com studio update. Dave?
Matt, thanks. Indiana is off to a good start against Navy. Stephen Houston with a 1-yard touchdown run. It is 10-0 in favor of the Hoosiers.
First matchup ever between these two teams since 1986, which Indiana won 52-29.
You look at Michigan State, the way they rallied to the ball and that little screenplay, that's why they're a good defense.
3rd and long, 3rd and 11. Robinson. First down for the Wolverines. DeLeo again.
Well,
15-yard pickup, Coach.
Yeah, that time Michigan State faked the blitz, then the linebackers pulled out, and you got to credit the offensive line because, you know, Robinson's not the biggest guy in the world. He sits back there, and he's finding zones to throw to. Put the ball right on the money between two defenders. If he would have had a rush on him, he probably couldn't have completed that pass.
R.J. Williamson makes a stop. DeLeo, the junior from Greenwell Springs, Louisiana. Fitzgerald Toussaint breaks a tackle. Toussaint all the way down to the 6-yard line. And a huge run for Fitz Toussaint. Isaiah Lewis runs him out of bounds.
You're going to see it right here. Watch the block by the wide receiver. And that's what sprung it. And they take a lot of pride at Michigan with their wide receivers. They've got to be blockers first and pass receivers second.
1st and goal to go from the 6. Robinson. Toussaint trying to get to the edge, and he can't. As he is pulled down, Curtis Drummond comes in. And a Marcus Rush. 2nd and goal.
Well, you see it right here. He's making the read. He hands the ball off. But Michigan State, great job. They don't get up the field till they know the ball's upfield. They stay square. Then they got upfield and got the tackle for loss.
Loss of 6. Last 2 games, Michigan 10 of 10 in the red zone. 6 touchdowns, 4 field goals. Robinson. Out of the pocket. Robinson. He is dropped at the 70-yard line. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and a gain of 5.
Well, you know that play was coming as effectively as they've been throwing the ball. Then all of a sudden you get down in the red zone and the field shrinks. It's tougher to go ahead and fake the pass. And then come on, Denard Robinson, run it because it's awful tough for one guy to bring it down. Credit Michigan State. They did a good job. And I'll tell you, these type of hits on him, that takes an effect on anybody as the game goes on. Physical football.
Michigan 3 of 5 on 3rd down. It's 3rd down and goal to go. Robinson to the corner. Overthrows Roy Roundtree. Roundtree broke it off early instead of going to the corner.
Yeah, the miscommunication there. It looked like Denard was going to go to the corner the whole way. You know, the similarity between both teams, partner, they have both struggled getting touchdowns in the red zone. Michigan only 13 of 25 times now in the season. Going in this game, Michigan State was only 12 of 24. Both of them talk, you get down here, you got to score touchdowns.
Yeah. Mentioned over the last 2 games, 10 of 10, 4 field goals. This is a 24-yarder for Brendan Gibbons. He is 7 of 9 on the season. His long is 42 yards. And Gibbons through the uprights. And Michigan with a lead here. They've lost 4 in a row in this series here in the second quarter. Wolverines on the board first. 3-0 Michigan over Michigan State. Gibbons. Today's scoring drives are brought to you by Speedway. 11 plays, 77 yards, 5 minutes and 19 seconds, and a 24-yard field goal by Brendan Gibbons. And Michigan leads 3-0. As this one is through the end zone off of the foot of Matt Weil. And all of this for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. You see the trends in Michigan from 1970 to 2007, 30-8.
I'll tell you, this Paul Bunyan guy gets around. They play for the trophy. You got Minnesota and Wisconsin. They play for his axe. I mean, he was all over the place.
No question about that. First and 10 from the 25. Maxwell under pressure is brought down. Jake Ryan. Michigan, the only Big Ten school that recruited him. He has really emerged.
You talk about a guy that's a dominant player, number 47, Jake Ryan, and you think about it, the only Big Ten school, the others were Ball State, I think Ohio University, maybe Toledo, and Brady Hoke, who was the head coach of San Diego State, had film on him and turned him down. He's lucky he did. He'd be out there in California while Brady's here.
3.5 sacks this year for Jake Ryan, the outside linebacker. Maxwell goes for it all deep down the middle of the field, and it's caught by Benny Fowler. Big time play. 45 yards.
Yeah, you talk about Andrew Maxwell coming into this game. He had 21 passes of 20 yards or more, which was leading the Big Ten. And he went deep there, and Fowler went up to get it. And you talk about a change of field position and an offense answering to a field goal. Big play at the right time.
Greg Madison said we have to stop Le'Veon Bell. He said the other thing, big plays on the back end. He said their offense is designed to do that, and they did it right there. Pitch on an end around. Burbridge. And Burbridge pushed forward by Jake Allen. And a pickup of 4. Let's go to Chicago. Dave Refson for a BTN.com studio update. Rever?
All right, Matt, it was 3-0 Nebraska, and Evanston when Northwestern got this touchdown pass from Trevor Siemian to Dan Vitale. Wildcats 7-3. They just started the second quarter.
Nebraska and Evanston for the first time since October 3rd, 1931, Coach.
Yeah, that's when Al Capone was at the game.
Handoff. Le'Veon Bell turns it back up inside. Jabril Black.
Now this is Michigan State football. They opened up with a reverse, risk reward, but they picked up positive yards. Then they run the big guy, Le'Veon Bell, right in the middle, and now they get it down to a 3rd and 3, workable 3rd down. And you know, sometimes you get to this situation, depending how you feel about your field goal kicker, you're telling your offensive coordinator, you got 2 downs to get that 1st down.
3rd down. Pitch outside. Bell muscling forward. And Jordan Kovacs comes on the scene to make the stop. And it's a 1st down for the Spartans.
Sometimes you call exactly the right play. Here's the quick flip versus the blitz. They catch the linebackers inside. Kovacs comes up, puts a good hit, but the big guy sees the chains, gets the 1st down. Excellent play.
Le'Veon Bell, 6'2", 244. Kovacs gives up over 40 pounds on that one.
I asked him the other day, what's in your mind when you see that guy come? He says, I go low.
Bell puts a shoulder down and picks up another yard. Brennan Byer and Thomas Gordon there. Let's go down to Jay Lehman. Jay?
Yeah, I just heard the Michigan State offensive line coach say on the previous series, hey, we like how we're playing the power play, which is our bread and butter, but make sure, to his guards, he said, get around the edge. And if we got to get around the edge, that means the tackle has to hold the point against the Michigan defensive ends. We'll see if they can do that, Mace.
Yep, easier said than done. That's when you got to pack your lunch. That's an all-day block.
Second and short. The toss. Bell looks for a seam. Bell grinding out. And does he have enough, or is he just a little bit short of the first down?
You know, when you watch Bell run the football, he's not just big, he's just not strong. He never stops driving those legs, and that's why he has so many yards after contact.
And Bell waving Nick Hill off of the field. And despite limping, Bell remains on the field. It's third and short. Bell straight ahead. Bell, did he get it? He may be just a little bit short. Kenny Demmons comes in and makes the initial hit.
You know, partner, it looked like he tripped. It didn't look like he got tackled or stuffed. It looks like he just went down. Just watch, see it? Yeah. He kind of stutters and loses feet. That's how he likes to run. He takes a little stutter to find the hole, but he loses his balance a little bit and didn't have the power to run over those defenders.
Dan Conroy, 14 of 19 on the season. This is a 38-yarder. Conroy, no good. Pulls it. From 30 to 39 yards on the season, he is 3 of 5. Last week against Iowa, 3 of 3. The amazing thing is from 50, he is perfect 3 of 3. He misses a 38-yarder there to tie it at 3.
Antonio's thinking, I should have went for it.
Today's United States Marine Corps leader of the game is Michigan fifth-year senior offensive lineman number 65, Patrick Omame. He hails from Columbus, Ohio, double major in communications and business administration. Started 35 consecutive games. Named to All-State American Football Coaches Association Good Works team. Weekly visits to the UM Children's Hospital, involved with Heroes for Kids, amongst many other foundations. And great young man that wears the Michigan uniform. And Robinson trying to get outside and is going to bring up second down now. You were saying going to break, you know, Mark D'Antonio may be thinking about going for it instead of that field goal.
Well, when you got it down there, fourth and an inch or a fraction of an inch, I know that goes through your mind. Let's go for it, let's go for it, but you don't want to give Michigan anything to get excited about, and you missed the field goal. You think, knew I should have gone for it.
Going to bring up second down and 6 after a 4-yard gain. Robinson out of the shotgun. On a keeper. Robinson, no place to go. And he is brought down by Twan Jones, who comes flying in at a loss of 3 on the play.
Well, you know, I think it would be an understatement to say thus far, and you look back in previous games, that Michigan State and Narduzzi, they've got the right formula to stop Denard Robinson in that type of attack, with him keeping the ball up the middle.
Last year, Robinson had just 42 yards on the ground, 18 carries. Coming off of the corners, and Robinson trying to get back up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to grind out A couple of yards on the ground. Denzel Drone is there on the stop. You take a look at the numbers over the last 2 seasons against Michigan State. Pat Narduzzi, they have the perfect formula.
Well, you know, going back to what Al Borges said, Michigan State is not afraid to blitz us, use their blitz package where most teams are, because you saw in the blitz when Denard Robinson pulled the ball down, someone's going to make a play out in space, or it's going to go the whole way.
Will Hogrup leads the nation in average yards per punt. And taken by Sims. Sims met at the 45-yard line and pushed back. Wolverines up 3-0. And some pushing and shoving going on. And officials doing a good job getting in the middle of it. And you see Max Buller right there, a 45-yard punt. And a 15-yard return. Brandon Hawthorne making the special teams tackle.
That was really good coverage by Michigan, because that punt went a distance, but it was low.
More from the Big House after this. From the 44-yard line, Maxwell under center. Bell, the running back. Maxwell to throw. Big play. And the pass intended for Keith Mumphrey. He overthrows his intended target. Now to Georgia.
I mentioned before that Andrew Maxwell is leading the Big Ten in plus 20-yard completions. And last week he missed a deep one like this against Iowa. And that's a home run right there. You know, when I used to coach defense, that's what I would call a foul ball. You know what I mean? You think it's a home run, but it's a foul ball. But you're concerned because the home run was there.
Maxwell on second down. This one sails on him. And it's going to bring up third down. Coming up right after the post game, it's a special presentation of the Journey Big Ten Football 2012. Brought to you by Best Buy. We take a comprehensive look at the Michigan State-Michigan rivalry game as Michigan State looks to win the game for the 5th straight time, and Denard Robinson looks for his first win in this heated in-state rivalry. Immediately after the post-game show, only on BTN.
Interesting play calling. They went for the home run on first down. They threw on second down. Now here's third down, and this is Michigan State. They like to run the football.
2 and 6 on third down. Maxwell to the near side, and it's going to be short as Tony Lippett makes the reception. And Courtney Avery comes in from the corner.
I only say interesting play calling because they're a run football team. They've got good field position there at the 45-yard line. You'd think they go back to what they do best. And I'm not saying not go for the home run on first down, but I'm surprised they came back and threw on second and third down.
2 strong defenses, Michigan and Michigan State. Not surprising. It's 3-0. Sadler, a low line drive, and Gallen makes a fair catch at the 15. 34-yard punt.
I'm not surprised that it's 3-0, and I love it. I mean, it's good football.
Flags are down on the field. The officials getting together. With 1:55 remaining here in the first half.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 6. 15-yard penalty, first down.
The second personal foul in this game. First one was on Michigan, this one on Michigan State.
You know, you can't do those type of things, and you especially can't do it in a 3-0 game. And I can tell you, when you have field position like that they were going to have for Michigan, Michigan State knows that that's awful hard for them to go the distance to score. Don't help them out with a personal foul.
That moves the ball to the 30. Robinson Robinson, a quick strike. DeLeo. Drew DeLeo inside the 35-yard line. A huge day for the junior from Louisiana. 3 receptions, 72 yards. That one 35.
And Michigan wanted to go hurry up. And it looked like Isaiah Lewis was shaken up on the play.
1st and 10 from the 35. Robinson looking for another quick strike. Stays on the ground. And Max Bulla is there with Darquez Denard.
Again, Pat Narduzzi dialed up the blitz. Robinson pulled the ball down, but they were able to corral him.
2nd down and 6. Robinson fires. It's incomplete, and it's 3rd down.
Really nice play by Danico Sallin. He flashed underneath. They came back to the slant route again, but the linebacker, Danico Sallin, got his hand on it. You'll watch number 28. He gets it out, and he just gets his fingertip on it. Otherwise, that's going to be a completion.
Three for 7 on 3rd down. Robinson with time. And Devin Gardner tripped up. No flag down.
Well, you know what, partner, what I saw on that is that the defensive back got on top of the receiver. See it right there? So the receiver's actually running through the defensive back. That is an excellent call by the official, and no call.
Darquez Denard in the corner. It's going to bring up 4th down with 1:12 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 4th and 6. And a timeout taken by Michigan. Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report is coming up. Stay tuned for that. Dave Revson and crew in studio. Ohio State winning in overtime, coming from behind to beat Purdue, Northwestern, and Nebraska. And of course tonight, Iowa at home against Penn State.
Let's watch this play again. You can just see he's going to go, but you'll see the defender is on top of the receiver. That's excellent defensive back play. He's limiting the receiver going deep by his position.
Matt Weil will attempt this field goal. This is a 48-yard.
Their first.
Now I'm guessing that Mark D'Antonio called timeout there. Don't make the mistake. He was trying to ice the kicker. What he's doing, it's a long field goal. There's 1:12 to go in the half. He wants to tell his guys, you know what? Be heads up for the fake. You know, we've got a lot of people on fakes at Michigan State. Watch out. Let's not let it bite us. If he's going to kick it, that's fine. The other thing is, don't rough the holder. I'm going to take my chances on this long field goal.
Matt Weil, 48-yard attempt. Weil has it right through the uprights. First career field goal. And Weil nails it from 48 yards. 6-0 Michigan. 1:07 remaining in the first half. Matt Weil with his first career field goal. Today's scoring drives brought to you by Speedway. And Weil with the big leg sends it into the end zone. Nick Hill takes it. 5 plays, 39 yards, 48 seconds set up by a 35-yard pass from Robinson to Dillio. Drew Dillio having a huge day here. The junior from Louisiana, 3 catches, 72 yards for Drew Dillio.
Yep, number 9 in your program, number 1 in your Michigan heart. That's what it is, baby. And what do you do if you're Michigan State? Do you go wide open to try to get a score? But if you fail on a couple incompletions, you give Michigan the ball back, or do you play it safe and go in a one-possession game?
What would you do? What would you do?
One-possession game, I'm going to keep the clock going. I don't want to give the ball back to Michigan.
To the near side, here's Bell. Bell gets hit out of bounds by Jake Ryan. Conservative.
Well, let me clarify that. I'd have done something on first down, like a quarterback draw. And if I break it to about the 40 or 50, man, then I'm full tilt. But what I don't want to do is keep the ball down on this end of the field, put it in my punter's hand, give it to Michigan at midfield, and have them go wild. It's a field position game. I'm losing it right now if I'm Michigan State right before the half.
Second down. Maxwell quickly up top to Burbridge. Aaron Burbridge close to the first down marker. And Taylor runs him out of bounds and a pickup of 6.
Well, Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, he dialed up a blitz, bringing his best blitzer, number 32, Jordan Kovacs. I'm going to tell you, he came as hard as he could, and he got blocked as hard as he could, too. Good job by Michigan State.
Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator. 3rd and short. Maxwell under center. Bell, the running back. Here's Bell looking for a seam. Leaning forward. Does he have it? As Jake Ryan wrapped it up. And that is going to be a first down for the Spartans. 24 seconds remaining. Michigan State missed a field goal, 38-yard attempt off of the right foot of Dan Conroy. Deion Sims on the field.
You got to feel that they're bringing Sims in because of his pass catching ability. He's a little banged up. He's not a good blocker right now, but he's a force in the passing game.
He was out last week against Iowa. Injured his ankle in the first quarter against Indiana. Junior from Detroit.
Earlier in the year, there was one receiver that was catching the ball well for Michigan State, and that was Deion Sims.
A lot of bragging rights on the line. There are nearly 100 players in uniform today from the state of Michigan.
And if you're not from Michigan, I think you're from Ohio. It's one of those
exactly right.
Should not have. Please reset the clock now to 44 seconds. 4-4.
So the clock gets reset to 44. 20 seconds put back on the clock. And that'll help the Spartans. We've owned the bragging rights for 1,802 days. It's been that long since the Wolverines have won in this series. They lead here 6-0. Maxwell. Near side, Burbridge. In and out of the hands, incomplete. And a big hit by Floyd.
Well, Floyd put a big hit on that, but Maxwell's pass to Burbridge was behind him. And on that slant route, you want it right in front of you. You don't want it right even with you or behind you. You want it in front of you.
Halftime report brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. It's coming up from our Chicago studio. Maxwell goes up top, has a receiver. Burbridge incomplete, broken up by J.T. Floyd. 3rd and 10.
Well, again, they went with the home run. You could see it. Excellent coverage by the defensive secondary. You just watch him. And the thing he does well, he looks back for the ball. If he doesn't look back for the ball, that position, that official most likely is going to throw the flag on him. Look back for the ball. Just the way you were coached. Good position.
Floyd, 2 breakups on the day. 3rd and 10. Michigan up 6-0. 28 seconds remaining here in the first half. Mumphrey quickly out of bounds. 23 seconds left.
Here's what I was talking about, though. Now it's 4th down. You know, you say, well, what can happen in 23 seconds? I promise you, from past experience, there's a lot of stuff that can happen in 23 seconds. Most of it bad.
Sadler back to Jeremy Gallon. Gallon handles it at the 10. Gallon looking for room. Cuts back to the near side. Has a blocker. Gallon past the 20, the 30. Cuts it back up inside now to the outside and brought down at the 37-yard line by Max Bulla. 48-yard punt, 28-yard return.
I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so, and I almost really told you so, because Jeremy Gallon is an exciting player, and you know what? That came close to going the distance.
The officials huddled together. The flag is down.
Illegal shift. Offense. The 5-yard penalty will be tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
So give the Wolverines 5 more yards. 8 seconds. Robinson in the huddle. From their 42.
Well, this is going to, I would assume, by this formation, 8 seconds, a Hail Mary type play, but.
Dilio on the near side. Robinson looking right. A wobbly pass picked off by Max Bulla. And the pass was intended for Jeremy Gallon, and Max Bulla comes in with the interception. And that is the end of the first half. And the Michigan Wolverines lead 6-0.
Well, you got to credit Michigan State there. They only rushed 3. They broke the protection down. Denard Robinson got hit just as he went to throw that ball. So no harm, no foul.
6-0 Wolverines. They've lost 4 in a row in this series. It's halftime at the Big House.
$149 a month.
BTN Football is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. In this moment, who has your back? Protect what matters most with an Auto Owners Insurance independent agent. Find yours at AutoOwnersInsurance.com. And by the United States Postal Service. 6-0 as we get set for the start of the third quarter. And the Wolverines lead. Let's go down to Jay Lehman.
Coach, 6 points in the first half. How do you get Denard Robinson loose in the second half?
Well, you know, I think we got to block a little better at the line of scrimmage. They're playing good defense, but we got to find some things that can work for us. We got to, you know, rush the ball better. Our backs have only carried it 3 times. Try and get them more involved.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Brady Hoke looking for his first win against Michigan State. He is undefeated here at Michigan Stadium, and it's time for our 5-hour energy first half stats.
Well, you know, you look at that, Matt. Obviously, it's been a defensive battle, but you look at 2 good defenses, rushing yards, and we talked about the importance of that. More passing yards than I would expect, but you look at the first downs and ball control, a decided advantage for Michigan.
Difference maker on this day so far, Drew Dilio, a junior from Greenwell Springs, Louisiana, and then Matt Weil with a huge field goal, his first attempt. And this one will sail.
And his kickoff goes out.
Denard Robinson He's out there for a kickoff return.
Well, what I would have to guess, and he wasn't the deep guy, he was lined up at that wing or defensive or offensive end position. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they either put him out there for decoy. Michigan State, I'm sure they spot and think, oh, here comes the reverse.
Quicken Loan's quarterback comparison.
Well, you know, I've really been impressed with Maxwell throwing the football today. Denard Robinson, though, when you think about how they corralled him running the football, he's thrown it pretty well, struggling on the run.
Yeah, neither team has really run the football all that well. Robinson loses it. Is he down? Or is it Spartan football?
Well, it definitely came out.
Robinson was down at the 30.
And they're saying that Denard Robinson was down. A pickup of 7. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, his elbow hit the ground, then the ball came out.
Second and short. Inside handoff. Toussaint has a first down.
Well, you heard Brady Hoke say running backs had only carried the ball 3 times in the half. We got to get them involved. Well, they didn't wait very long.
You know, neither team has had success on the ground. Both of these defenses have been stout. Toussaint does have 4 carries for 45 yards. Brady Hoke 11-0 at home as a Wolverine head coach. The last 2 weeks he's outscored his opponents 89-13. And this is certainly a different look on this day. The flag is down as Robinson is wrapped up by Allen and twisted around and brought down. So a flag on the play.
Offside, defense number 5. The penalties decline. First down.
Johnny Adams offsides for Mark D'Antonio Spartans.
I got to ask you a question. How does a cornerback line up offsides? I'll tell you why, because he's lined up on a flanker and he's not looking in where the line of scrimmage is, but when he goes out and make that tackle, that ball was gone.
Devin Gardner, that's who he was lined up against. Here's Toussaint. Toussaint breaks the tackle, grinds out 2 more. And Anthony Rashad White and Allen there on the stop. Look at the first half possessions.
Yep, you know, punt, field goal, punt, field goal, punt. As we talked about, both teams very concerned. You get that ball in the red zone, you got to come away with 7, not 6.
Second down. Toussaint breaks 1 tackle. And cleaning up is Max Bulla. And he was first hit by Golston. And a loss of 4.
All right, let's look at Mac. Look at his eyes. Making his reads. Gets blocked onto the inside. But you know what? He keeps fighting. And that's the thing he stresses. He was blocked by a big 310-pound lineman, but the guy keeps fighting. Schofield, number 75, had him pinned to the inside, but the guy has great tenacity. Get blocked, but don't stay blocked.
3rd and 10. Jeremy Jackson out of the backfield. 6-0 Michigan. Short underneath. Pass intended for Roy Roundtree.
Well, Pat Narduzzi's really mixing it up. He had the safety up on the line of scrimmage like he was coming. Then at the last minute, he shifted back and they gave a 2-cover look. Both corners rolled up, 2 safeties deep, and then they brought the linebackers. They're really mixing it up. Michigan had the play they wanted it. They just didn't execute it.
Will Hogg-Rip the punter. Michigan State number 1 against the run in the Big Ten, 8th in the nation. And first in total defense in the Big Ten. And this one is over the head of Andre Sims, and it bounced right into the end zone. And Max Bulla leads the team in tackles, one of the best linebackers.
That line, he's got linebacker eyes. Just look at him stress and go and make the play. Great linebacker play.
Third quarter here from Michigan Stadium, 6-0. Wolverines, and you look at Michigan State, 35-21. 2009, 26-20. 2010, it was 34-17 in last season. With the gusting wind, the Spartans come away with a victory. Mark D'Antonio, lifetime 2-0 at Michigan. And inside the big house. Bell straight ahead in the first half as William Campbell makes a stop. 6 first half possessions for the Spartans, 5 punts and 1 missed field goal.
Boy, you go from one extreme to the other. You go from the modern day spread offense to here's Michigan State. They line up in the old I formation, twins the field, and run the isolation. Fullback trying to block the linebacker. Good old tough Big Ten football.
2nd and 5 now for the Spartans. Maxwell swings it to the near side. McGarrett Kings, a true freshman, stopped by Thomas Gordon. That's a first down for Michigan State as they try to move the football against this tough Wolverine defense. They are number 1 against the pass in the Big Ten, 3rd in the nation, 7th, right in the middle of the pack against the run in the Big Ten. However, they have been strong here this afternoon. Play action. Maxwell across the middle, complete. And a first down. Aaron Burbridge with a big catch, a true freshman from Farmington Hills, Michigan, and a pickup of 19 before Taylor brings him down.
Well, it's a good read by Maxwell. You saw Kovacs, he lined up deep as a deep safety, and he flashed right on down to get to be the 8th man in the box. They couldn't rotate back fast enough, wide open.
From the 49, Burbridge had that breakout game against Indiana. End around, Mumphrey with room. Mumphrey tripped up and brought down by Demmons, as well as William Campbell, and a pickup of 14, and the Spartans are moving the football.
Well, they sure are. It's the second time they hit the reverse, and you know, Matt, reverses only work against good teams because they flow to the ball so good defensive teams. A bad defensive team, they don't flow very fast, so you can't trick them.
Burbridge and Mumphrey to the top of your screen. Bell in the backfield. Maxwell with time. Maxwell finds Mumphrey. And one of the things that they wanted out of Andrew Maxwell being decisive and accurate, he was that time as they work on Floyd.
Well, you know, I'm really impressed in this game. When you see Maxwell get good protection, be able to set up and plant his feet, that ball goes out there on a rope quickly, right on the money.
13 of 19 for 132 yards. And a lot of criticism on Andrew Maxwell, but the line has been banged up. Receivers have dropped passes. That hasn't been the case today. Last week really struggled against Iowa. Bell trying to hop over Demmons, and he can't before Desmond Morgan is right there. Holland, Michigan. 6-0 Michigan here in the 3rd. Twitter poll, BTN.com Connect. Who will rush for more yards today, Robinson or Bell? And Bell winning the poll, 61%. And right now, Robinson 1 more yard than Bell. Desmond Morgan 7 tackles on the day. Maxwell to the air, and Tony Lippett makes the catch at the 16.
Well, again, here comes the blitz. But when he gets back and plants and he can deliver that ball on the money, advantage goes to the offensive team, not the defensive team.
Maxwell's 4 of 4, coach, on this drive.
And you know, not just 4 of 4, really impressive throws.
3rd and 1 for the Spartans. Bell searching for room and a first down, and he gets it.
Well, you got to anticipate that a blitz will be coming by Michigan. So what do? You call the play where you gap block, not man block. They run the off tackle power, backside guard pulls around. And when you have a 244-pound running back with his shoulder square and you can get back to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and short, you're going to get a first down.
First down for the Spartans, deep in Wolverine territory. Pitch. Lippett looking to throw. Lippett now running. Lippett has room. Sees the end zone, spun around, and he comes up short of the end zone. Gordon and Floyd as Bell flipped it to Lippett, and then they were looking for Maxwell in the end zone.
A little trickery, and the thing about it, you went from disaster to smelling like a rose because the guy missed a tackle and he made a play. Look at this. They got him dead to rights, coach. And here goes Lippett. Put the ball away. Get the blocks downfield. Another missed tackle. Good play.
Wolverines pile on, but it's 1st and goal to go for the Spartans. Play action to the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans. Paul Lang, the tight end. Michigan State with the touchdown. An impressive drive.
Impressive drive, I would say the least. You come out, you mount a drive like that. The story of that was Andrew Maxwell throwing to perfection. Good play calling by Michigan State. A lucky play on a broken reverse play, and then a play action on the goal line in the red zone when you had trouble scoring. Touchdown.
Michigan State leads 7-6. Maxwell was a perfect 5 of 5 for 45 yards on the drive. Play action to the tight end Lang. Touchdown Spartans. They lead by 1 in the 3rd. Today's scoring drives are brought to you by Speedway. Paul Lang, first career touchdown. And Tony Lippett kept it instead of throwing it to Maxwell and brought it right up close to the goal line, setting up this.
Well, watch this. Play action's always good on the goal line, but look at that defensive line, Matt. They all dove in the ground, playing the run. No pass rush whatsoever. Easy touchdown.
2-yard pass to Lang, 10 plays, 80 yards. Maxwell was 5 of 5. Penalty markers down. As Kevin Amuma sends it back, it is returned up to the 27-yard line. And there is now some pushing. And Amuma holding back some of the players. And for Michigan State, Ed Davis, the officials. As we wait to hear the
offside kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Offside. And that's going to move it 5 yards. 7-6 Michigan State. Dan Conroy did miss a field goal. Spartans have won 4 in a row in this series. Denard Robinson has never beaten the Spartans. Toussaint gets hit hard by Bulla and pushed back, and Allen is there. Max Bulla just so tough. See Twan Jones, a sophomore from New Baltimore, Maryland, had a career-high 10 tackles against Iowa last week.
Well, if you're going to play middle linebacker, and nobody plays it better than Max Bulla, you got to make a lot of tackles. You're right in the middle of the action, especially against an offense like this.
10th tackle on the day for Max Bulla. . knocked up and batted at the line of scrimmage, and Jeremy Gallon almost was able to make the reception. And it was interesting, we're talking about this defense for Michigan State, and you said they are a good defense, but in order for them to be a great defense, they have to have a better offense.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're an awful good defense, but if their offense had been struggling and they were moving the ball more and that really good defense was on the sideline next to D'Antonio, they'd be a great defense.
3 for 9 on third down. It's 3rd and 10. Robinson, and the Wolverines down by 1 point. Robinson escapes the rush, and Roy Roundtree, the intended target, incomplete. Darquez Denard, the junior.
And you talk about Denard, watching the film, that young man has really been playing consistent, good football. And on a play like this, when you almost have Denard and he slips that sack, that's what really makes you nervous on the back end of a defense.
Will Hogrup from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the punter. And Andre Sims is back. A booming kick inside the 20. And right at the 20 coming up is Sims, and a fair catch, 47 yards off of the right foot of Will Hogrup. 7-6. Spartans lead the Wolverines here at the Big House.
Even a high of
Today's Heisman history is brought to you by Nissan. The Nissan Heisman Tour is here on campus, and there is no better way to promote this great award than by honoring the 1991 Heisman winner, Desmond Howard. Hello, Heisman. The Heisman was here on campus this week, right across the street, and
you know, one of the most
great scene.
One of the most famous moves in the end zone right there today. We draw a penalty.
Yeah. And a great call. Legendary. Maxwell hands off Bell. Trying to get to the edge. Bell is cut down by J.T. Floyd.
Well, that's not the type of run they want Le'Veon Bell running. Not bouncing outside where he has to turn his shoulders. I know I've said it a number of times, but watching film, when that guy is square to the line of scrimmage, he's a force. When they get him bouncing and he has to turn his shoulders, he's average.
Nothing average about that last drive for Michigan State. 2nd and 10. Maxwell, pump fakes now underneath. Caper cuts back up inside, and he'll be short of the first down as Jake Ryan is there to make the tackle, and it's a pickup of 70 yards. 8 different receivers Andrew Maxwell has connected with on this day.
Yeah, which tells me as a former coach, he's making his reads. He's going through his progression, and he can do that. I was critical of the offensive line coming in this game. You got to credit that. Yeah. Banged up, put together offensive line today so far. They've done one whale of a job.
It is 3rd down. Maxwell sprinting out. Maxwell will throw it away. And the Wolverines able to get a stop on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th and 2 for the Spartans.
He made the call before the play on by Jake Ryan on the screenplay. I want to tell you, he went inside, he went outside, but he made the tackle, and if he doesn't make that tackle, it's going to go a long way.
Gallon is back for the Wolverines. Sadler high in the air, and Gallon takes it inside the 30, a 44-yard punt. 2 excellent punters, 2 best in the Big Ten on display today. Tuesday night, hear the story of the 2002 Ohio State Buckeyes from the players and coaches that helped win the Buckeyes a national championship, Big Ten Elite. 2002 Ohio State football presented by Chase Freedom Tuesday 10 Eastern on BTN. Can the Wolverines get their offense on track? Play action. Robinson batted at the line of scrimmage by Anthony Rashad White. That is one big presence on the inside. 6'2", 330.
Well, you see, he didn't take the snap quite cleanly, but watch, he's a short guy, and he threw the ball low. I mean, that defender didn't even raise his arm. He just gets it out to the side, a little sidearm right there. Anthony Rashad White knocks the ball down.
Robinson 0 of 4, coach, here in this second half. Toussaint is pushed back. James Kittredge from Ramsey, New Jersey. This is his third start of the season. Started against Eastern Michigan and then last week against Iowa.
Well, he's unblocked. He ought to make that play. You know, you can't pull a guard without the tackle blocking down. That's just elementary. Big mistake there by the Wolverines. Big play by Michigan State.
Third down and 16. Robinson down the middle of the field. Incomplete, intended for Jeremy Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson was down there. I guess that might be the good news. The bad news, you had both safeties for Michigan State right back there. You had Curtis Drummond, Isaiah Lewis. That ball was up for grabs. You're lucky they didn't pick it off.
What is Pat Narduzzi and his defense, defensive coordinator for Michigan State, what are they doing right now that is causing so much issue for the Wolverines?
It looks like they've got Michigan confused, the quarterback and the offensive line.
Hogrip shanks it off the side of his foot. A rare sight. And the disappointment on the face of the junior, Will Hogrip. And a 30-yard punt.
And it just gets worse right here. It's a good snap, and uh-oh, there it goes. It's a shank. And you know the thing about it, we talk about momentum, Matt, in football all the time. And all of a sudden, you know, when it swings, and it is swung in this game, you can feel it. You can almost smell it. The momentum is all Michigan State. Now, I'm going to tell you, Michigan State is known for trick plays. The only thing we've seen so far is the reverse. Watch out for a trick play coming someplace here.
Maxwell, handoff, Bell got stacked up behind a couple of his offensive linemen and then darted outside and finally tackled by Jake Ryan.
There was nothing there, but the big fella kept his feet going and kept pushing, kept his shoulders square, and all of a sudden he gets positive yards. Not a big play, but it's big when you're trying to move the change and you're holding on to a one-point lead.
2nd and 7. 3 minutes remaining in the third. Maxwell to the near side, and he hooks up with the freshman Aaron Burbridge, and Taylor is there to make the tackle.
Well, again, that's not a big play, but it's a positive play, so now you get third down into a workable number. Not that it's a gimme, but I can tell you when you come up with a third down play with 4 to go, your chances of converting are a heck of a lot better than when it's 3rd and 7.
It's 3rd and 4. Maxwell has been sharp here in the second half. Maxwell, plenty of time, overthrows his intended target. Kovacs, the interception. Kovacs, the return. Inside the 40 of the Spartans. Jordan Kovacs with the interception, and a flag is down on the play. Maxwell with plenty of time. Throws the interception. Kovacs, 5th of his career, 1st this season.
Illegal block in the back. Defense number 30. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Thomas Gordon.
Well, that's the first big mistake of the game. And you'll see Maxwell, he's back there, but watch, he kind of double chokes the ball, then he throws flat-footed, the ball sails on him, and you can't do that. You can't throw a short pass deep, or you can't throw a deep pass short. And he lets the ball sail, and there, Mr. Michigan, Jordan Kovacs, big turnover.
The captain, Paul Lang, was the intended receiver, the tight end. Wolverines down here in the third quarter. Keeper, Robinson, straight up the middle. Robinson staying on his feet. Inside Spartan territory, and he is tackled and brought down at the 45-yard line in a pickup of 12 yards for Michigan.
Well, Narduzzi dialed up the blitz again. The only problem, watch Robinson, he'll run right by the linebacker, and then he's off to the races. Denikos Allen missed that tackle in the hole.
1st and 10. Robinson, plenty of time, fires down the sideline, and the pass is incomplete. Devin Gardner had it knocked away.
Had all the time in the world, had a wide open receiver. I was surprised that he was that wide open. It must have been a coverage bust, but then when you drop the ball like that, I guarantee you, Brady Hoke is standing on the sideline, and right there he says, "You've got to be kidding me."
0-6 in the half is Robinson.
You're lucky that one
White. 2nd and 10. And a timeout taken by Michigan.
Yeah, you saw that play where Anthony Rashad White came in and he got Denard Robinson around the helmet. It wasn't a face mask, but you know, with all the things that are happening in present day football, trying to protect the players, normally you come close to that head like that, you're going to get flagged. They got away with one there, partner.
Anthony Rashad White.
No, let me correct it. They got away with 2. Michigan dropped the ball, and they didn't get a penalty. They got away with 2 on one play.
Out of the timeout at 2nd and 10 now. Michigan State with 1:35 remaining in the third, up 7-6. Yards here in this third quarter, 94 for the Spartans. Wolverines 33.
And just as I talked about momentum, the interception swings it back the other way.
The ground game hasn't been there for Robinson. Robinson out of the backfield. Fitzgerald Toussaint spun around. And it's going to bring up 3rd down. Denikos Allen.
Yeah, Allen makes a nice play there, but that pass wasn't clean and crisp. All of a sudden, you know, it was thrown a little bit behind him, so Toussaint just couldn't catch the ball, get north and south, and make people avoid. He had to worry just about catching the ball.
Michigan tied atop the Legends division with Iowa, both 2-0. Dillio in motion. Robinson finds a receiver. Roy Roundtree. 1st down for the Wolverines. 52 seconds remaining in the third.
Well, Denard Robinson converts on this. I'm a little surprised he didn't pull the ball down and just run with it, because he's got a lot of green grass out there, but he puts it right on the fingertips. Nice catch. 1st down, move the change. Great reception by Roundtree.
From the 25. Robinson keeps it. Robinson tries to stretch it outside. And Golston and Denard are there. And the pickup of 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Time in the quarter ticks away.
You mentioned how well Michigan State has contained Denard Robinson. If you watch him defensively, you know, they don't play on two different levels. They all play about on the line of scrimmage. They keep their shoulders square and him in front of it unless they're blitzing. Then they get upfield.
Denard Robinson, one of the Michigan greats, has never beaten Michigan State. The Wolverines are driving. They trail the Spartans 7-6 through 3 quarters of action from the Big House.
On BTN.
Just one of the great scenes in all of college football here at Michigan Stadium. Second down now for the Wolverines to open up the 4th quarter. Robinson has a receiver, and it is caught by the tight end, Devin Funchess, a true freshman and high school teammate of Aaron Burbridge, who plays for Michigan State. 8th different receiver.
Well, you know, he throws the ball over there, and there's a lot of bodies flashing to that football, but it was on a rope and got in there. It had to get there in a hurry.
First and goal from the 10. Handoff, Toussaint inside the 5 and ridden down by Chris Norman. It's second and goal now for the Wolverines.
Well, you would expect this from Narduzzi and Michigan State, but they're dialing up blitz after blitz after blitz down here, going after it, and it's a guessing game, but you got to credit Michigan's line now. They're picking up that stunt and giving them running room down there in the red zone.
Toussaint 9 carries, 46 yards. Robinson 16 carries, 53 yards. Robinson to Funchess, incomplete in the end zone. Broken up by Isaiah Lewis. They call him killer because
he tries to kill you.
He said they get after you. He's nonstop, Pat Narduzzi told us.
Hey, let me tell you, is that Devin Funchess a good-looking young player? I mean, you talk about a wide receiver, 6'4", 229 pounds that can leap out of the stadium.
Third down. Robinson to the air. Incomplete to Jeremy Gallen. And it's going to bring up 4th down now.
Man, they missed a heck of an opportunity there. Again, Michigan State came with the blitz, but Jeremy Gallen looked like he was wide open. Here comes the blitz. Picked up. Look at that.
Just right behind him.
Just right behind him.
And Gallen unable to hold on to it. Brendan Gibbons, 21-yard attempt. And it's good. He's 2 of 2 on the day. Matt Weil 1 of 1. 3 field goals for the Wolverines. And Michigan leads 9-7 here in the 4th quarter. Robinson with time. Across the middle behind Gallen. But a field goal puts him on top. Today's scoring drives are brought to you by Speedway. 10 plays, 54 yards, a 21-yard field goal from Brendan Gibbons. It was set up by the Jordan Kovacs interception, the first of the season, 5th in his career, thrown by Andrew Maxwell. The return, a big one, and stumbling forward is Nick Hill, and there is a flag down on the field, and Hawthorne being talked to right now.
during return, holding. Offense, number 47. Half the distance penalty. First down.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't a holding. That was a tackle.
Jeremy Gaynor. Michigan up 9-7. Third largest crowd in Michigan Stadium history.
And they're into it, aren't they? Huh?
They are.
I don't see any green pom-poms out there.
The only thing green is that field. Straight up the middle. Kenny Demons is there to make the stop. And Bell picks up a couple. Let's go to Chicago and Dave Repson for a BTN.com studio update. Dave?
All right, Matt, here's the latest from Evanston. Venrick Mark continues his fantastic season. An 80-yard touchdown run, the longest of his career. Northwestern on top of the Huskers, 21-10.
I remember last season, Northwestern went into Nebraska and they beat the 9th-ranked Huskers. How about that? Bell loses the football. Bell stripped of the football. Wolverines say it's theirs. Who has it underneath the pile? Desmond Morgan pointing. And Michigan State comes away with it. Blake Treadwell was on the bottom of the pile.
Just a hand knocked that ball out. You know, when that happens, I can tell you, Bell, you're not protecting the football correctly. They just avoided disaster right there.
Brendan Byard got a hand on it. Bell, 18 carries, 49 yards. 3rd and 7. Maxwell throws a strike. And it's a first down. Tony Lippett with the catch.
And that was an accurate statement if you ever made one. He threw a strike. I mean, it was right down the middle, right on the money in a crucial time. I am really impressed with Andrew Maxwell today. All the criticism, all he struggled, most pressure-packed situation he's ever been in, and he's performing. He's stepping up.
Lippett, 5 receptions, 39 yards. 1st and 10 at the 22. Maxwell with time underneath, intended for the fullback, Nico Palzetti. Didn't play last week because of a banged-up ankle. And Palzetti drops that one. You look at the Legends division. Iowa and Michigan. Northwestern could change the look of it today in Evanston.
I guess that mandatory nap paid off for Venrick Mark, huh?
Bell. No place to go. Jake Ryan was the first one there. Tied him up around the shoelaces, and then the rest of the Wolverines came in.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you like football and you like defense, I hope that you're videotaping whatever you do at home this game and go back and watch this defense again, both sides, for the Spartans and the Wolverines. It's as good a defense as you're seeing played anywhere in the country right here today in the Big House.
Videotape?
I don't know. Is that what you do? I don't know. My wife does that for me. I don't know.
You still have a VCR, don't you, Coach?
You bet I do.
3rd and 10. Maxwell, incomplete. Pass intended for Mumphrey and J.T. Floyd right there.
Well, credit Michigan. They played that slant route the whole way. That's what Michigan State's been capitalized on it from the snap of the ball. Those corners jumped inside. And if it was a better pass, it probably would have been picked off. I mean, they play it. Just look at them close. See that? They're closing on that receiver right away. Maybe a little slant and go. Might work against him, but that slant was not going to work right there.
Gallen standing at the 35. Sadler, it's a fake. Sadler with the first down and more. How about that for Michigan State?
You knew it was going to come someplace.
Mike Sadler and Mark D'Antonio has his team with a first down. A 26-yard pickup. Mike Sadler with the fake. Deep in their own territory.
This is what you call road runner right here. What you see is that Michigan, they saw us on film on punt return. They'll just turn and run down the field for the return. So if you're the punter, you just catch the ball, you fake it, and you take off like a road runner.
At the 49 is where they'll spot it. Maxwell goes for it all. And he overthrows the intended target, Aaron Burbridge. You knew that was coming after Sadler.
There it goes.
Gallen had to come over.
You know why that guy's
out of bounds.
You know why that guy's excited? They got the first down, and plus if it didn't work, they'd be hanging him back in East Lansing. That's the life of a coach.
He's 4-1 against Michigan. He is 2-0 as Mark D'Antonio here at Michigan Stadium. 2nd and 10. His team down 2. 9-7. Wolverines. Maxwell. Pass caught by Burbridge. Burbridge spinning and leans over for a first down inside the 40. Taylor and Gordon there.
You saw the catch there by Burbridge, partner. You know, we've seen this guy emerge out of nowhere when they were struggling at Michigan State catching the ball as a receiver group. They lost all those great receivers from last year. Well, they tell you one thing, from what I can see, they got another great one on the verge of really putting himself on the stage here in Aaron Burbridge.
Burbridge, including today over the last 3 weeks, 19 receptions for better than 270 yards. Handoff. Pushing it straight ahead. And Bell brings a pile with him for a yard as Desmond Morgan is there to make the tackle. 9 tackles on the day for Morgan.
Yeah, and here you are. You got 2nd down, about 5 yards, and you're looking at the scoreboard. You say, you know, I got to get a touchdown here, but I got to make sure I at least get a field goal because I'm only down by 2.
Grant Conroy missed a 38-yard field goal. 4th and inches. Bell. And 2nd down, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. Desmond Morgan makes a tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and less than a yard.
Yeah, you got 3rd and less than a yard to get in the red zone. And remember how they avoided disaster a minute or so ago on the fumble by Bell, and they recovered. Otherwise, this could be a whole different story.
Handoff. Bell has the first down. Jake Ryan, Kenny Demmons there. And it's going to be first down now for the Spartans. The line doing a solid job today. Remember, this is an offensive line without Fo Finoti, Travis Jackson, Dan France. They do have Blake Treadwell back.
Yeah, you know, they're not getting a lot of movement, but one thing they're doing, they're getting hat on hat, preventing penetration, and letting Bell do what he does best, move the pile.
13th play of the drive. Here's Bell. Bell looking to get outside. Kovacs wraps him up. Jordan Kovacs. Let's go to Jay Lehman. Jay?
Yeah, the Michigan State sideline after that fake punt, obviously electric. They feel like they're poised to do some big things, but the Michigan defense has lost a little bit of that swagger. They were playing great for those first couple downs of that series, but that fake punt, that's like a turnover. That's like a sudden change. So hard to recover after that.
Second down. 2nd and 8. Maxwell to the air, and the pass is grabbed. What a catch by Benny Fowler, and a flag is down. What a grab.
Oh, you know what?
By Fowler, and Taylor clutching on to that left arm and shoulder area, and he goes down.
All I can say is, wow. The last time you and I had this game, Benny Fowler, he couldn't catch a cold. I mean, he really couldn't. And that pass, the most critical time in this game, these receivers, I'll tell you, Michigan State, you got to credit what they've done, holding those guys together and working on them. And, man, that was big time.
It's defense number 6. Penalties declined. Roughing the passer. Defense number 76. Half the distance from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
A big penalty there, Quentin Washington.
Now, you remember where this drive started, and I can tell you that when to go the length of the field and score, you're going to see it right here. A little late hit. Wow. Right in his hands, just like you're supposed to. But, as I was saying, to go the length of the field like that, it takes, right, yeah, came in late. 73, they got him.
Looks like 73. They said it was 76. It's William Campbell. And Taylor had that right arm wrapped around Benny Fowler. And Taylor being assisted off of the field.
But to take it the whole distance against that defense, one of two things has to happen. You either need a big play on offense or a defensive penalty, and now they've had them both in here. They had two big plays, fake punt, pass to Benny Fowler, and the defensive penalty. They ought to score now.
It is first down and goal to go. Ball is at the 6. Maxwell under center. Bell is the running back. Nico Palazetti is the fullback. Play action. Into the end zone. Broken up. Derek Hobing, the junior tight end.
Well, they smelled that one out the whole way. They went with the long fake. Maxwell put the ball behind him, threw it in there, but woo, they are lucky there.
Thomas Gordon breaking it up.
You like that call, Matt?
Well, you think you're going to hand it off to Bell. Well, they go back to Bell here. Second down at the 6. Handoff. It's Bell. Bell charging ahead. And inside the 5, it's going to bring up third down. Where do you go here? Inside the 5, it's third down and goal.
Well, the mindset, I can tell you, is that you have a smart quarterback. He knows he's got the field goal to take the lead with 6:35 in the game. So you probably call a pass, but make it a safe one. You can't afford a turnover right here. Either it's wide open or put it out of the end zone. Kick the field goal and let's play some defense.
17th play of the drive coming up. Bell trying to get outside. Bell reaching forward, comes up short. Desmond Morgan there, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, that call there is not very dissimilar to what I was talking about if they were going to call a pass. Go ahead and run the ball, and if you happen to squeeze it in the end zone, that's fine. But if not, as long as you hold on the ball, you're going to get the field goal, at least the attempt at the field goal.
Trevin Pendleton. Pendleton, the fullback, redshirt freshman. Taking on the corner, Floyd. And you see how he comes up short. Bell. Dan Conroy comes on.
Didn't see much on Pendleton. He might have just landed wrong.
19-yard attempt. Missed one from 38. this one to take the lead. It's good. Spartans on top. 10-9. Mike Sadler set it all up with the fake punt. Michigan State by 1. BTN Football is brought to you by State Farm for auto, home, life, and banking. Get to a better state. By Verizon. Call ** NFL to get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile from Verizon. And by Case IH. Be ready with Case IH Advanced Farming Systems. Visit caseih.com/AFS. Michigan State grabs a lead. Kevin Muma to kick off. It is 10-9. Spartans. Dennis Norfleet is back. And this one is going to sail deep into the end zone. Michigan State has won 4 in a row in this series. They have never won 5 straight. First time in 50 years that they have won 4 in a row in this series. And Denard Robinson, so special. What a great quarterback and talent. But he has never beaten Michigan State. Brady Hoke last year in his first season at the helm of Michigan lost. And now the Spartans lead 10-9 with 5:48 remaining. Denard Robinson 3 for 11 this half. Robinson back to pass. Robinson fires it and it's incomplete. And Devin Gardner wanted a flag and he won't get one. Johnny Adams is there.
You know, you talk about Denard never beaten Michigan State, and he's never played Denard Robinson's style as we become so accustomed. He's really struggled against this Spartan defense. And what are they going to do now? He has not had a big play this game. You keep waiting for him to break off a big one.
Michigan last season 11-2, their 2 losses. Michigan State and Iowa. Here's Robinson. Cuts it back up the middle. Now goes outside. Robinson, here's that big run. Past the 50, the 40, and out of bounds. Denard Robinson, an electrifying run. Getting into Spartan territory with 5:30 left. 44 yards.
What did I just say? Take back what I said, because he just had that big play when he needed it. Just watch him right here. He goes back. He goes with the quarterback draw. He's got the lead blocker. They lose leverage on him. He's going down the sideline. And he steps out of bounds.
You win the ground game, you win this game. That's happened 39 of the last 42 times. After that run, Michigan with 146 yards on the ground. Michigan State 112. Fitzgerald, Toussaint battling for yards. And Darquez Denard comes in and makes a stop after 6 on the ground for Toussaint.
This has been like a tennis game when it comes to momentum. They just keep hitting it back and forth. I mean, my neck's getting sore watching this momentum go back and forth here.
It is 2nd and 4 with 4:40 left. Robinson looks to get outside, and Danikas Allen comes in and makes the stop. William Golston had great pressure, and Allen came in and cleaned up.
Well, they had pressure, and they clogged up the middle. Watch, he wants to go up the middle, but there's no place to go. He bounces it to the outside. Here's Danikas Allen scraping outside, making the play. Tackle for a loss.
9th tackle for Allen. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7, under 4 minutes to go. Flags down. And I believe it's going to go against Michigan.
False start. Offense, number 21. 5-yard penalty. The down remains third.
Roy Roundtree.
Well, they had 3 receivers set to the right in a straight line stack position, and Roundtree started in motion toward the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped.
4th penalty for the Wolverines.
See it right there, going in motion toward the line of scrimmage.
So it brings up 3rd and 12. Robinson to the end zone, batted away by Adams, and a flag back by the pocket. Kyler Ellsworth, the linebacker, was right there next to Robinson.
Golston's clapping again. I guess that's good for Michigan State.
Holding. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Holding against Michigan, and that backs it up once again with 3:21 remaining. And it's right there. Number 75, Michael Schofield.
They got
it. He brings down Ellsworth.
And what's important about that, it was third down, it was incomplete, but with the penalty now puts him out of field goal range.
And a timeout taken by Michigan State. 3rd and 22. Mark D'Antonio, so much success at Michigan State over the last 2 seasons. The combined 22 wins, and then this year with a banged-up offensive line. And well, with high expectations, you know, you beat Boise State, stumbled, you know, Ohio State, and then Iowa. Struggled against Eastern Michigan, got the victory there.
Yeah, you'd have to say thus far it's been a disappointing season for the Spartans, but if they can pull this one out, it solves a lot of problems. Mark D'Antonio calling timeout right there. I can tell you it's one of 2 things. Either he didn't like the defense that was called in this situation, or, you know, he's got a defensive background. He wanted Michigan to come out to see the formation that they're planning and then call timeout to reassess what they're doing.
Michigan State up by 1. Robinson fires it over the intended receiver, Jeremy Jackson, with 3:14 to go in the 4th. The Spartans, as I mentioned before, they've owned the bragging rights in the state of Michigan for better than 1,802 days. Will they own it for another year?
Well, how important was that holding call? Takes them out of the field goal range. Now they got to punt the football when they're down.
4th and 22. Matt Weil is back to punt. Andre Sims calling for it, and he'll take it. And now with 3:07 remaining, the Spartans come out onto the field. In Michigan, they need that defense to be stout. Now, nervous times in Ann Arbor.
Dave Revson in our Chicago studios. We'll get you back out for the conclusion of the game in just a moment. Want to remind you, as soon as the game is over, keep it here for post-game reaction from Ann Arbor, plus the latest on Braxton Miller, who was injured towards the end of Ohio State's game with Purdue, had to be taken to the hospital. We will have the latest on his status and react to the entire day of Big Ten football. It's the State Farm post-game show as soon as they're done at Michigan Stadium. For now, we send it out to Matt and Mace.
3:07 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Brady Hoke with the headset on here in the 4th quarter. Michigan State up 10-9, 3:07 to go. Bell brought down. Under 3 minutes remaining. Today's Verizon Key Connection. Maxwell and Burbridge. Maxwell 20 for 32, and Burbridge has had a stellar afternoon. Spartans have won 4 in a row in this series. Maxwell, plenty of time. Incomplete, intended for Burbridge. And it's going to bring up now 3rd down.
You know, it didn't work, but I do like the call. You know, you're backed up here in your own end zone. You know that Michigan Wolverines are going to be playing the run. You struggled on 1st down. You got to feel that you got to get it out here. You got to get a little bit of room to have your punter at least have the ability to get it on the long side of the 50. Otherwise, you're going to give Michigan excellent field position. I like the call. It didn't work.
3rd and 10. 2:21 remaining. Michigan down 1. Caper loses the football. Scrambling for it. The pass was complete. And Michigan stayed with the football with Burbridge right there. And it's going to bring up 4th down now.
Well, the defense did their job, as you mentioned before. They had to stop them and stop them quick because the clock is running. 2:11. They couldn't give up some 1st downs. They got the job done.
Mike Sadler. In his end zone, Jeremy Gallen is back for Michigan. And Michigan, the Wolverines down by 1. 10-9. Gibbons, Weil had one earlier. And a low kick. And bounces inside the 40. And at the 38, 49-yard punt.
I want to tell you, partner, that's a big play. He used a little rugby-style kick. He ran to the left and kicked away from the returner. 49 yards in this situation in the game. That's a big play.
One of the best punters in the Big Ten. So here is Denard Robinson. 2 minutes to go. Wolverines down 1. 1st and 10. Robinson. Handoff. Vincent Smith. Smith has a 1st down. And he's knocked down at the 50. They're going to spot it right at the 50. .145 remaining. Robinson gets stacked up and dropped for a loss. Golston and Allen there.
Well, Golston ran way up in the backfield, deeper than the quarterback, which gave Robinson the lane. Credit to Nikos Allen. Great play, kept him inside and made the tackle.
2nd and 10. Flag down. Robinson trying to get outside, and the Wolverines penalties here in the 4th quarter.
I think this might be on Golston.
Number 2. Offside. Defense
It
number
is.
2. 5-yard penalty.
William Golston offside. Wolverines stung earlier by penalties and now on to Michigan State. Second down. 2nd and 5. 1:14 to go. Trying to get into field goal range at the very least. Underneath Smith. And the pass is caught. Gibbons is 2 of 2 on the day from 24 and 21. Weil hit a 48-yarder. It's 3rd down and 2. Robinson cuts it back up inside. Does he have enough? Allen there. And a career high 13 tackles last week against Iowa. He's close to that today.
I tell you, Isaiah Lewis, the safety, number 9, he came down. He almost made that play for a tackle for a loss from the safety position.
Allen with 11 tackles. 1st and 10. Robinson had enough. 32 seconds remaining. Not a player on the roster of Michigan has defeated Michigan
Was that
State.
runner made the line of gain for a 1st down. The previous play is under further review.
Booth review whether or not Robinson had the 1st down.
Let's watch it right here. He cuts it back. Here comes Isaiah Lewis. You know, he looks like he's on top of his own player and he reaches it across. I don't, you know, the replay guys will look at it, but it's called a 1st down on the field, so you know what that means.
You need indisputable video evidence to overturn.
Now let me ask you something. While we're waiting for this replay, and you look up at the clock, you got 32 seconds. You're Michigan. You haven't beaten Michigan State in 4 years. You're down by a point. What do you think's going through the field goal kicker's mind?
Well, you have 2 of them. You have Matt Weil hit a 48-yarder and Brendan Gibbons, who was 2 of 2 today. And I would imagine both of them right now have a lot going through their mind, wanting maybe that opportunity.
So if you know that you're the coach, you know what you do? As you're standing there, you look around and you look at which guy really wants to get up the plate right now. I mean, that's what you look at. You know, if one guy's
Further
back.
review, the play stands as ruled. 1st down.
1st down, Michigan.
If you got one guy back there getting a drink of water and the other guy standing next to you wanting to get in there, you put that guy
in. There's the 1st down for Robinson and the Wolverines. Spartans lead 10-9, 32 seconds remaining. Robinson with time, batted, and then caught, and they lost yards. Pass complete to Fitzgerald Toussaint. Allen right there. And it's going to be 2nd down, 18 seconds remaining.
Well, the important thing right here, when you're looking at a field goal possibly this long, every yard counts. I mean, you don't even want to catch that ball.
No. Spartans have done a great job getting their hands up and knocking passes all day, deflecting passes of Denard Robinson.
You know, it's been such a great played ball game by both teams, and you look at a 10-9 score. It's I guess that's what makes it great, but you think in 18 seconds, one team's going to be sky high and the other one's going to be lower than you can imagine.
We talked about the ground game so much. Spartans with 112, Wolverines with 163. It's 2nd and 11. 18 seconds left. And a timeout taken by Mark D'Antonio. And you go back and think a couple of opportunities. Certainly the one that stands out, Mike Sadler with the call, with the fake punt, picking up the first down, and that was right after Maxwell threw that interception to Kovacs. Big Ten football, Saturday night. Penn State and Iowa tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central from Iowa City. And right here, we've had a great one today. 10-9. Spartans on top, 18 seconds. Robinson all day, and he hooks up. Dillio, Drew Dillio once again. 20-yard gain. Isaiah Lewis on the stop. Denard Robinson spikes it. Dillio, 4 catches, 92 yards. What a day for the junior from Louisiana. And Brendan Gibbons comes out. Last time Michigan defeated Michigan State, November 3rd, 2007. Timeout taken by Michigan State. Andrew Maxwell trying to keep the streak alive of 4 straight. Michigan State has never won 5 in a row.
Now, partner, when we started this game, and you thought about all the possible names that would come up big in this game, was Drew Dillio one of them? I mean, no disrespect to the young man.
He's had a
But what a game that he's had.
He has been outstanding. Catch up on all of today's Big Ten football as Dave and the gang bring you a wrap-up on all of today's action after the game with the State Farm post-game show.
And here's the ball game.
38-yard attempt. Gibbons. It's good. Wolverines 12. Michigan State 10. 5 seconds remain. Brendan Gibbons nails it. 38 yards for Brendan Gibbons. Penalty markers down with the celebration that ensued after Gibbons made the field goal.
You know, you talk about what do you expect those kids to do out there? You know, I mean, they haven't beaten Michigan State in 4 yards. The guy kicks the field goal, and they run on the field to congratulate him, and they get penalized. I understand what that excessive celebration penalty is putting him, and these guys are doing all that Mickey Mouse stuff in the end zone, but
Brady Hoke, undefeated at home as a head coach at Michigan. Mark D'Antonio, 4-1 against the Wolverines. His team now down 2 with 5 seconds remaining. And the ball is at the 20.
This ball would be kicked on the ground.
Matt Weil. The big house is rocking. On the ground, scooped up. Looking to get outside. Bell tosses it back, trying to keep it alive. Still alive. Benny Fowler falls on it, and the Wolverines win. Michigan takes it for the first time since 2007. The Wolverines beat the Spartans 12-10 on the left foot of Brendan Gibbons. The trophy belongs to Brady Hoke and the Michigan Wolverines. Great game here.
That is an understatement. I want to tell you, this was Big Ten football at its finest. A good, clean, hard-hitting game. You got to credit both teams.
Let's go down to Jay Lehman. Jay?
Coach Hope, 5 years it's been since the Wolverines have won. How does it feel?
Well, it'd be great to get Paul Bunyan back where he belongs in Ann Arbor. And, you know, the kids played hard the whole game. A lot of different ups and downs on both sides of the ball, but I'm so excited for our seniors, number one, because they hadn't beaten these guys.
What thing are you most proud of when it comes to your team today and their performance?
Just how they kept getting after it. They kept fighting. You know, we didn't play perfect at all. We made some mistakes in there, but they kept going. I mean, they kept going. They kept fighting.
Congrats.
Thanks, Joe.
Michigan has won 900 games in the history of this outstanding football program. Denard Robinson and the rest of the Wolverines can now say that they have beaten the Spartans. Drew Dillio, you want to talk about a game changer? He is a John Deere Gator game changer. 4 receptions, 92 yards, and this one the biggest of the day.
Yeah, and when the game was on the line, don't forget, someone had to throw it to him. Denard Robinson, who has never beaten Michigan State up until today.
Mark D'Antonio pinned back deep in his own end, decides for the fake punt that set everything up for Michigan State. But then at the end, the Wolverines come through. Gibbons makes a 38-yarder to win the game with 5 seconds left. There it is. The Wolverines win it for the first time since 2007. They beat the Spartans. Brady Hoke still undefeated at home. Spartans lose, Wolverines victorious, and Paul Bunyan belongs to Michigan in Ann Arbor from the Big House. So long, everyone.